Yes, I'm going to show you the huge Bitcoin setup that I'm watching. It's just too good to pass up, guys. Keep watching. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Sadly, we didn't get enough likes on Wednesday's video to go ahead with the Bitcoin setup. Wait a minute, I've already told you that we're going to do it, didn't I? Yes, I'm going to show you this big old weekly pattern on Bitcoin, and here's why. November has been our biggest month yet with over 900 likes. And I also got some great comments on Wednesday's video. You guys are the best. So I'm going to show you that Bitcoin setup shortly. And guess what else? That's okay, you don't have to guess. I've also got a new crude oil setup for you. And it could trigger today, so stay tuned for that one as well. But first, updates on our 2 open and locked-in trades, and then later on the trading maxim for today. Stay right here. Hey, you guys, we're almost at a record number of subscribes for this month. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help us knock this number right out of the park. And also don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of these great setups. All right, let's look at our updates. As I mentioned in Wednesday's video, I moved my stop on the Euro USD up to 1.1037 to lock in 22 pips. I don't like the look of this pin bar right here that's forming today, but it is what it is, right? The Kiwi Swiss hit our first target just barely today. So I've closed half for profit, set the stop to break even right here at 63.89. Again, not liking this pin bar too much, but at least we've locked it in on the second half, right? Okay, let's have a look at this crude oil setup that I promised you. As I mentioned, 2 setups today for you, and this one is the first. We're looking at the daily crude chart. Last week, I had this bear flag drawn right up through here, and I sold this candle right here, and then got a close back inside the bear flag, and I took the loss and told you that I was going to watch it. Well, as you can see, the volume and the volatility continued to decline on this one. So I redrew this bear flag, and it looks like we may get a close below the new bear flag today on big volume. Check out that volume bar. I'm going to give you a synopsis of the trade management plan for this, and then I'll go into more detail on the Bitcoin trade. But know that I manage all my trades in exactly the same way. So here's the plan. We will sell a daily candle close below the bear flag. If this closes here today, then we've got definitely sufficient volume to trade a full-size position. If after entry we get a close back inside the bear flag up here, I'll close the trade for a loss. The stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and the first target is 1 times the ATR. We'll measure from the entry. 1.5 ATRs is the stop loss, 1 ATR for the target. When the first target is hit, I'll close half the position for profit and move the stop to break even on the second half and follow stops as the price continues down. And that's the setup on crude oil today. Are you ready to take a look at Bitcoin? I got really excited taking a look at this really nice bullish wedge right here on the weekly chart, Bitcoin US dollar. And I really like the wedge pattern. I think it's maybe one of the highest probability patterns that I look for. Now, based on this pattern, I think Bitcoin is going up, maybe back up to above this 14K level right here. But, and that's a really big but, it's not time to buy this yet, so don't get too excited about it. It's still got some downside in it. There are 3 strong support levels here, 5,900-ish, 4,980-ish, and 3,100-ish. If you followed my channel for a while, you'll already know why I said ish after each of those numbers. Here's what you have to remember. Tim's trading maxim number 5. A line is never just a line, it's always a zone. So don't expect it to turn at exactly these levels. On a weekly chart, a push through of $100 or more is not outrageous. You can see this 5,900 line was respected right over here, where these two candles dropped below 5,800. And these two candles only dropped to just below 6,200. So definitely don't look for perfection here. What I'm telling you is Bitcoin could continue to drop as low as 3,000-ish before turning back up. So don't get excited about buying this just yet. Here's what I propose for the trade plan. We'll simply buy a weekly candle close above the bullish wedge. On the breaking candle, to open a full-size position, we want to see this volume bar reach to the average, and I would use the weekly volume data for this. If it doesn't quite reach the average but does reach 75% of the average volume, then I'll open a half-size position to reduce risk. You can calculate the volume by taking the volume number, dividing it by the volume average, and you should get 0.75. If you don't get 0.75, then stand aside on this trade. Let it go by. On the breaking candle, look over here for the ATR. Let's say the entry candle comes up here, and this is the close. Measure 1.5 ATR below the entry for your stop loss, 1 ATR above the entry for your first target. If after entering the trade we get a candle close back inside the wedge, we'll take the loss right then and not wait for it to hit the stop loss. Our intention is that a breakout above this wedge should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. And we can tell the momentum has gone away if the candle closes back inside the wedge. When the price hits our first target, we'll close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We'll then follow the stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Now these two rules are the very definition of cutting your losses and letting your winners run. Typically I do this using two positions. The first position has a stop loss and take profit attached directly to the order. That position will automatically close when the first target is hit. The second position will have a stop loss and no take profit associated with it, and that's the position that will be allowed to run. When the first target is hit, we'll have to move our stop loss up to break even on the second position. I will risk 2% of my account on this trade, and that's the setup on Bitcoin US dollar. Remember, I'm not trying to tell you what to do here. I'm just telling you how I handle these trades. If you want more details about what I do, look below this video for a link to my trade management video. And if you've got your own trade management plan, use it. By all means. Trading is very personal, and things that work for me may not work for you. You have to understand your own mind to find the best strategies for your own trading. And psychology, in my opinion, is the most important part of trading. And the trading maxims are my way of helping to handle my personal psychology. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, rule of conduct, or a proverbial saying. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline in trading as well as other areas of my life. I suggest you start your own list of maxims, things that you can say to yourself while you're trading or doing life to make sure you always do the right thing. Feel free to borrow from my list. And today's trading maxim is a little bit geeky. Tim's trading maxim number 15. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. And that's a quote from Captain Jean-Luc Picard. In case you're unfamiliar with the Star Trek universe, Captain Picard from the 80s and 90s TV series Star Trek The Next Generation is, in my opinion, one of the best examples of a leader that you can find. He's saying this to an android character named Data who is trying to become more human. Data is upset because he is making mistakes in his humanness. This rings true in all areas of your life. Mark Twain said it well, good judgment is the result of experience, and experience is the result of bad judgment. Well, at least I think that was Mark Twain. Seems like that quote is credited to several people. So, in any case, don't beat yourself up when you make mistakes. You're learning new things. Determined to improve on your next attempt. Remember our crude oil trade plan here. We're going to sell a daily candle close below the bear flag. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 times the ATR. And also this biggie, this weekly Bitcoin US dollar trade plan. We're going to buy a weekly candle close above the bullish wedge. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 times the ATR. And remember to click the link below to the trade management video for more details. And sign up for my free Trading Picks email list so you don't miss any of these setups. I'll be sending out 3 or 4 trading picks a week, everything from stocks to futures to cryptos to Forex, and you'll get to see them first. And the best thing about it, it's free. I'll put the link below this video. Be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guide's YouTube channel every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time for new videos. We'll have a nice trade setup or two on each one, and maybe some extra Q&A or training. And don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. I'll either answer your question right in the comments or in a training video, or both. And remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. Tell your friends about us and help us make this the best trading channel on the internet. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.